Hey everybody, welcome to another Arkham Horror List video. Today, we're going to be doing our top 3 Investigator Elder Sign effects. We had to explain to Bryn what this was. This is when you draw the good shit from the token pool. But we got there. We have our list. So Bryn, why don't you start with your number 3?
Oh yeah, okay, so I put this one on the list because I actually fucking hate it. Because it's like the only one that I ever see happen, but it's always like +1 you may move, but all the places to move there's like a shitload of enemies, so it's like 1,000 times worse to stand there than where you are right now. You're like, thanks for the +1 game, but I'm not gonna move.
Yeah. I also love that this continues really your philosophy of including things on the list because you hate them.
We haven't done the bad one yet, but I wanted to complain about it now.
I put the ones on the list that I remember.
Man,
so those are the ones I remember because I hate.
I also just have to take a moment while we were looking through this. I just love how Jim Culver's Elder Sign effect is just +1.
Yeah,
like no other text.
Well, it's because you should, in theory, you should never pick it, because you can treat them as skulls.
It's true.
Oh man, so you're saying that if you pick Jim Culver, you can seal the Elder Sign token instead of the +1 token with your stupid relic that makes you good?
Wow.
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
That's incredible.
My number 3 is good old Norman Withers. It's +X. You may swap the top card of your deck with a card in your hand. X is the top resource cost of the top card of your deck. I think it's really fun.
It is really fun.
There's a lot of control you have over it, and it's one of the few that you actually can do something with it when you draw the symbol. I actually think with my number 1 as well, there's some control there as well. But Norman Withers is I really enjoy playing him. I like that he has the top of his deck revealed and all that stuff. But I think this is a great way to get the flavor of what his deck's doing. What his playstyle is doing, and also giving you because it's not a draw card, but it's if you need to get to a certain threshold, this can get you there, and I think it's just really fun. Travis?
I like Rex's because it actually gives you a choice in things that are relevant to the gameplay. Because sometimes you wanna draw star shit, and you have your curse in play, and you're like, damn, I wish I didn't have to draw 2 tokens every time I made a test. I knew I was gonna succeed. And you just, not only do you get to get rid of your curse, you get to draw 3 cards, and I like drawing cards, it's good. Also +2 is above curve.
Yeah. There's a lot of fun memories I have with this one of when we were playing and Travis would draw it, and then I would just see him look at it, put it down on the table, look at his hand, mull things over, and being like, I could probably fail this test and everything's okay.
It's okay for me to just throw away this test to draw 3 cards? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Man,
no, that's why I like this one.
If this was on a blue character, Travis would be like, do you trust me? And you'd be like, yes. And he would draw the blue token, and you'd be like, oh, good. And you'd be picking up your guy, and he'd be like, hang on.
Yeah.
Start looking at his cards,
That was 100%. You actually painted that picture perfectly. Yeah, just one sec. Hold on. Yeah. Oh my god, it's scary. That's scary. All right. Let's go. Number 2, starting with you, Bryn.
Zoe Samaras, I actually like her star effect, even if, again, like Ursula's, it usually does nothing. When it does something, you're like, ha, that's right, die, trash.
It's true.
Yeah, you often kill guys for 1,000 points more than you needed to, and by 1,000 I mean 1 point more than you needed to, because you were planning it out like a math-doing person. But
that's usually the best way to win the game is to not expend resources for nothing.
Right? But yeah, it's just so clearly indicative of what your character is meant to do.
Yeah.
They're you're allowed to play 5 cards from other colors, but like what you're good at is doing damage.
And like there's no better feeling than you're like, okay, I'm gonna take 2 attacks to kill this enemy because he has 3 health. And then on your first test you draw this and you're like, oh, like it's just great.
Yeah. Or you draw it while you're fighting against a rat with your machete and you're like, God, I'm right.
Yeah. You're one dead rat. Now, my number 2, some of you be like, hold on a second, Justin. You've actually never played with Winifred Habamuck. So how the heck can you know that this is good? Well, because I read it and I said out loud, that's good. This is like my play style in a nutshell. I have to be honest with you as well. The days of me adding an additional thing on the list still continues today, because when I was making this list originally, the first 3 I put down were my number 1, which you can probably infer if you watch these videos who it is, Winifred and Minty Fan. And I said, I can't have all 3 of my people do the exact same thing, so Min had to get cut. But this is like what I want to do. And with this, I just see her with all the cards from her set, and then you get the opportunist going, and you just like commit cards. Your skill value is so high, and then you just don't draw the red one, and then you're like, oh my god, I've done it, and I get all these cards back.
That's where your plan falls apart. Well, if you draw the red one.
Oh, then you just accept that losses happen and you keep going. That's what you taught me, Travis. Just if you go all in and you lose, you just are like, that's okay. That happens.
Yeah, no place to go but forward.
It's true. And like, I also generally don't make tests that hurt my friends when I fail. So it only hurts me, and I'm okay with getting hurt.
I do like your reasoning for this, where you were like, well, Justin, you've never played with this, how do you know it's good? And you're like, well, Mr. Strawman, you see, unlike you, I can read.
But I was gonna be like, obviously in my head I was like, I really wanted to play, like I was like, I'm probably gonna play the red starter deck when we get together and play our starter decks. But now I'm like, Bryn and I might need to do fisticuffs to see who's playing. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, like the red deck comes with a chainsaw, and
oh, maybe we're just like in agreement then. Who knows?
Like that's pretty cool.
Travis, who's your number 2?
It's Joe Diamond. Well, Joe Diamond is not one of my favorite investigators to play in general. I do want to try him again. I feel like I probably didn't do him service. I feel like we always do the investigators, like when we play a campaign for the first time, a bit of a disservice.
Oh yeah, like me and Patrice. Oh my god, that was an abomination.
We're just like, man, what was I thinking? I think Joe Diamond deserves a second chance for me, but I think that his star effect is really neat in that it's one of the kind of the few that's like, whenever you draw it, you're always like, yeah, this is like actively good for me, and also like it actually affects the game.
Yep.
It doesn't even need to be an insight that came from your hunch deck in the first place.
Yeah. No, it's just I think this is just like a really good other side effect.
Yeah, and it's not even one that's like, it triggers on any test and you don't even need to pass it.
Yeah. Like that's one of the things you guys were saying, like, you know, maybe you're playing Winnie and, you know, you just you didn't succeed by 2. Maybe you drew the -5 and you're just, or I mean, like you drew but you didn't succeed by enough, or you didn't have any things committed to the test and you're just like, yeah, whatever. Or like Zoe and you're not doing a fight test for some reason and you're just like, okay. But it doesn't matter what you do in the show, you're just like, yeah, I'll just put this working hunch back in my deck or whatever.
Yeah, it's just straight value.
Yeah. I do like value.
Yeah.
Because playing a card in your hunch deck is like drawing cards, kind of.
It is, yeah. All right, let's get to our number 1s, starting with Bryn.
Man, so you know how Justin said that Jim Culver's effect was a +1? My record on Jenny is a +22.
Oh, baby.
It didn't change anything, but it was fucking sick.
Yeah.
But that's a really big number.
Yeah, the game was like, how do you plan to beat my guy? And I was like, well, my skill value is effectively 32 or 33 or whatever right now. So like, I guess I'll succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But like by lots.
Yeah.
If I had an all-in committed,
Oh,
I still would have only drawn 5 cards because you can't draw more than 5 cards. But like, the game would know what I was getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you were investigating with that stupid yellow card that you can't play in Jenny, you could discard. You could discover like 20 or like 10.
Oh man, but you can play it in Jenny. All you need to do is have somebody who's okay with paying XP to put cards in your deck so that you can play You Owe Me One and take it from their hand.
You know, that's like a realistic kind of situation.
Yeah, I was considering putting together a Jenny Barnes deck that played all of McBride, so that I could try to draw more star tokens because it didn't matter what my other token was.
Yeah.
It'd be like -3 and +12.
Yeah, that's pretty good. My number one, should be no surprise to anyone who watches these series, is Silas March's ability where you allowed to commit a skill card from your discard pile to this test. And after this test ends, you return that skill to your hand instead of discarding it. So Silas is really fun to me because I can, as I draw my chit for the test, I can be like, you know what? I actually don't need this skill card I committed anymore. I'm just going to put it back in my hand. And it's just basically like an unending... It's like Justin's drawing a card. It's like
to the circus of value.
Yeah. And this, sometimes you have to be like, dang, I lost that skill that I wanted. But with this, not only is it committed, and you can get it back, and then the card you did commit, you can be like, you know what, I'm actually going to take that card back because I don't need it for this skill test anymore. And there's like just so much, it just feels good. And then I got to look through my discard pile and be like, yeah, let's commit this one to this. And sometimes you get like those dream situations in Magic Christmas Land where the skill that you committed was like maybe that brawl card that cares about a basic fight, and you were doing this during basic fight, and then you're like, my God, I am actually a literal genius for doing this. Even though it was just random chance, but you don't care about that.
It also does some vaguely degenerate things with Eucatastrophe.
Yes.
And Resourceful.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Justin's a very daring choice for you. Like the side of Eucatastrophe and Resourceful are good to go with it.
I was actually doing something, and the next time I do Silas, I'm not doing my usual Dark Horse build. I want to do like big money.
Like money for things.
Yeah, by big money I mean $4.
Big money. Yeah.
I like to play Will of Survive one time.
Yeah, but I think I need to like get out of my the hole I've fallen in with. At the very least, Silas, because both my Silas builds were like the same thing, even though it was randomly drafted.
Just get Bryn to make it for you. It'll probably be functional.
Oh, probably. You guys are good deck builders. You can build anything. Travis, who's your number one?
This is Manny Thompson. So I definitely was considering Harvey Walters because his is draw a card. But this is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so much better.
Yeah, it's like drawing a card, but actually just better.
Yeah, like as Mandy, you get to... Again, this is like something that's just always good. You search the top 3 cards of your deck for any card. Either you draw it or commit to the test, and then you shuffle your deck after, because why wouldn't you? But if you haven't used your thing this turn, because you're doing something bad, but you get to search the top 3 cards. It's like you get to succeed your test probably, because why are you trying to do a test where like 0 wouldn't succeed you? But also like draw 2 cards or search the top 6 for a card and add to your hand. Like it's so good. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. It's great. And like even in a pinch where you would fail the test, you can like commit something to pass it, right?
Yeah.
Like you
can probably find something to pass it. Like, man, it's so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like
it's again, like Joe Diamonds, it's just you anytime you hit it, you're just like, yeah.
And like once we've like been doing these list series and we've like really have understood and we've been making more Arkham content than ever, our play styles, like once again, like you look at this thing, these top 3, and you got it. It's coming to the point where like I feel like we need to we're just like so obvious at this point.
Hey, Bryn and I are going out of our comfort zones for our next playthrough.
Yeah, I'm actually going to play a deck that probably has, let's say, eight assets in it total.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a blue deck, and it's not gonna be Mark Harrigan.
Wow. And I'm gonna just do what I normally do, which is just sit in the middle and help on both sides.
You're not gonna play Lucky.
No. I think I could though, so I probably will.
Yeah, you could.
No, I think actually what I want to do is do it based on our deck tech, which should be up on Saturday. Actually, yeah, look at that. I want to do a damage fin based on some of the stuff that you had going in that deck. So I think I want to do that.
Man,
that sounds cool.
Justin.
Yeah.
The blue Thompson is illicit.
I don't know.
It does so much fucking damage, and it's basically free.
Wow.
As a counterpoint, though, the green one kills swarm enemies super good.
Oh yeah. Okay, no, you're right. You're right.
I'm gonna have some
like
fun
in
deck
exactly this circumstance.
That should be up actually. I mean, we're recording a lot because we have 2 more sessions coming up for actual in-person games. So, anyways, I'm gonna end this list. Thanks so much for recommending it. This was one that has been recommended a lot lately. We'll see you guys in the next list video or whatever Arkham content you watch next. If you have any suggestions for list videos, please let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, GG's.